Okay, we're here once again. Renegade Network, Hammer Down. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please share the videos. Also hit that notification, which is the bell. Hit that button and follow us on Facebook so you can be alerted anytime we go live. We're once again here with Kevin Hartley in the Hammer Down Mobile Colonel Command Center, the Mobile Colonel Command Center, sitting back talking a little racing. Let's talk a little bit about one of our old favorite places, Unity Raceway. How do you feel about that old track? What's that track mean to you?
It means a lot. Actually, back in the day when they had, my great-grandfather used to own Unity when they had horse racing.
Wow. So you were probably familiar, well, maybe not familiar, but probably saw pictures or something of what the layout might have been?
Yeah, I think my grandmother has some pictures about that. I've probably seen a long time ago. I haven't seen recently, but yeah.
I've seen the layout like as a triangle, like supposedly, and then one that said it was a bigger oval. But one thing is for sure, when people said you'd come around turn 3 into 4, you'd go down a hill basically, and if you were in the covered grandstands, you had this, or the grandstands there, you'd have to stand up so you could see where they were. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
As a fan, like, oh, I gotta stand up, I'm gonna miss them. Like, wait a minute. It's usually a flat track.
Yeah.
Well, when you get downhill, things are a little different, but that was back when it was dirt, and that was dirt when they were horse racing.
Yeah.
So, do you have any stories to tell about the horse racing track?
Not really, because back when I talked about it, I was younger, so I don't remember much from them. But my grandmother said that they had her father had horse racing, owned it and had horse racing there.
We're going into the 2022 season, and that Unity Raceway has had one big race. They had their opening race, and the grandstands were packed, the track was packed. What's your impression of dirt racing?
I haven't really done dirt racing myself, but it'd be kind of fun to try, and I'm glad that they got it back going, because I hate seeing any racetrack that's not going. I hate when I see them idle when they could be doing stuff with it. So with being dirt, you know what I mean, it's probably a little harder definitely on Joey, but he's doing a heck of a job trying to keep things going for the fans, and I'm just glad that he's giving it his all, and it shows, because people keep showing up, and I love watching the posts on Facebook about what he's done. And
now, if people were looking at this broadcast and listening to what the fans say, it's Long John weekend. That's something that stands out to everybody. They all know that's just a special time. It's not a regular racing week. It's just something that's held at the end of the year, and people come from all over and they camp out, and it's a big party. What is it you remember about the Long John, and what do you want to see at a Long John?
I always like seeing everybody there, all the fans there, and I used to bring my camper down there. I did it a couple times, I think, and I'm bringing my camper back down this year when they have it, because they said they were going to have like a weekend of the campers that come, so I'm going to go there and enjoy my time with all the competitors out down there, and all the racers and all the fans.
So one thing I come away with when I'm talking to people about the Long John and stuff like that, you know, everyone loves the racing. People want to go for the racing, but you yourself just said it. You're camping and seeing your buddies and their kids and friends, and I don't want to say it's a big party, but it's just about being there and being at a track we're familiar with and just having fun. It's
more like I would say a party, but like maybe like a racing family communion type thing. You know what I mean? It's just like a big thing, going out and enjoying everybody's time and their stories that they have about the track.
Like racing church, like Ricky Bobby would say, sweet baby Jesus, right?
Right.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby. So we're talking the 2022 Long John. What do you want to see for racing?
Anything would be good. Enduros, V8s, you know what I mean? I love watching the kids out there the time I was down there. Me, it's all about the kids, because if it's not the kids out there racing, we're not going to have no next generation racing.
How do you feel about no lights, meaning it's going to be a Saturday show, Sunday show kind of deal? I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it's going to be. How do you feel about, you talk about the camping, and part of that camping, because I was involved with a few of them, was right after the race. It's dark and the bonfires are starting. How would you feel though the racing gets done and, well, we got a few hours before sunset and blah, blah, blah. Is it going to be any different for you or?
No,
nah?
no, not at all. So just being down there hanging out with people and supporting the track, supporting Joey. It was all his hard work that he's done and his family. And I go down there and go to the concession stands and stuff. His boys do a great job down there. Very, very good.
When you went to your first race at Unity Dirt Track, what was going through your mind? Were you just there as a fan saying, oh, this is cool? Or as soon as you saw those cars and they were sideways and stuff like that, was the racer in you saying, I can't wait to try this?
I can't wait. I gotta get a car. I was hoping my cage runner would be good to go for it, but I tried it once at Speedway, and that's what happens when you don't work on it. It breaks down. So I hope one day to be out there, maybe this year, maybe next year. But I will support it. I'll try my best to find a car, even if it's a little road runner.
Now I get some people that I ask the question, and everyone doesn't want to say the wrong thing or anything, but when you watch the racing on the dirt track, did the Enduros look the same as the V8s, meaning rear wheel drive cars on the dirt compared to your basic stock front wheel drive? Was it the same, or did you get a little bit more, oh, look at them race cars and rear wheel drive, or was it all the same to you?
It was different. I liked, they had the Acura down there when I was down there, the 13s, those are my favorite.
Porter.
Yeah, Porter, those are,
Yeah.
that's my, of course I'm an Acura guy, so, but I just love the sound of them, and both, I like the street stock that was down there, the Wildcats, whatever they call them down there, but I enjoyed everything, and seeing how dedicated Joey was to keep the track smooth and watered down was awesome. Just that he cared so much for the racers out there to give them good racing.
If you were on the track in that, I don't know what they called it that day, the 4-cylinder that Porter was in, and you saw him on the track, are you just like, holy shit? Because he's on another planet. I mean, they were racing and he just, he could hold that thing all the way to the floor, all the way around the track, where else everyone was slowing down and this and that. That guy was just, does it take away the, I don't want to call it the enjoyment, because it's still a rush, but you're not racing for first, you're racing for...
What make me is, probably the rest of the drivers making me want to be as good as them, get more experience, so that way when they do come back, we can kind of give them a run for their money, you know what I mean?
When you see him out on the track though, Porter, I asked him questions about his setup and he didn't really want to elaborate, but how much of it do you think is setup, and how much of it do you think that guy runs dirt all the time, whereas we don't, and he just is out there, he knows how to run dirt, and it's the driver a lot?
That's probably 50-50. You gotta have to handle, but then the drivers, like I've learned in the cage runners, is if your car's not handling that day, you kind of gotta drive the car different, trying to figure out a way to make it handle.
We talked earlier, just a minute ago, about the front wheel drive to the rear wheel drive. Friend of mine, we were talking, and it's my opinion personally, but I like the rear wheel drive cars a lot better than the front wheel drive cars. I think at Speedway 95, the best class there are the cage runners. In their front wheel drives, they put on a great show. But when you take it from pavement to dirt, they look so goddamn slow. You know what I mean? On that dirt, and just the way if they were all Porters out there, that's a rush. That would be fun, but he lapped everybody basically, and they were real good cars, you know, Brad and Casey, and he made them look like turtles out there. So I think the rear wheel drive cars, and I have the idea, what cars are just sitting around everywhere doing nothing because they're not competitive? The Mustang, rear wheel drive Mustangs and all. Wouldn't that be great? Put some dirt bodies on those cars and watch them just go out there. Cheap cars, they're probably priced, you know, you got a cage in them and you could probably buy them for what you're buying. Shit, Brad's Enduro costs more than those 4-cylinder Mustangs. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, because there's a lot of Mustangs that used to race up with Speedway back in 2012-13. Now they have to put 10 grand in the motor just to be competitive in the Sport 4. So that'd be great if they're just sitting around, just hey, go put them on dirt and have a good time. I
think you can give someone without much seat time a lot of power, and he's going to lose to some wheelman like a Turbowski that's going to throw it in there and just hang on. I mean, I think you'll see a lot of the driver making a big difference.
I imagine if they had probably plenty of the Mustangs, they could probably have one in this class for that. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking. How do you feel about that? Is that something you might like? Jesus, that kind of sounds fun. 4-cylinder car, rear-wheel drive, dirt cars. You know, that's what, when I talk about the dirt, you're taking your car from the pavement to the dirt. That's a different surface, different shit. Why not? Okay, you're gonna run dirt, make it a dirt car. Give it a dirt nose, because those dirt noses are functionable. You know how they just make, I don't know if you watch much dirt racing, where you can see the trail like a wind tunnel, basically. The dust hits it and goes up over that crunched in cockpit, and all that shit stays out of the driver's face. You know, I'm getting old and I've made the transformation. I love dirt. Dirt's the way to go in my eyes. It just looks like so much fun, you know? But there's people that'll bitch about it's dusty or this and that. But when you watch the big time races, they're pulling off mud off their car and all that shit. It's just part of the game.
It's part of the game, and there's people that if they give them a hard time and stuff, it's just they're jealous because they're doing so good with it, and it's just.
You see so many of the big drivers that race dirt, that are in the cup and all that, going back to dirt. You know, they haven't, you would say I don't know, I'd say at least 80% of NASCAR drivers that are the real wheelmen come from dirt. So is it got to be something to that dirt and car control that separates the guys?
Put the car sideways and they can pretty much handle it. So if it goes sideways on tar, they already got that experience of how to save it on dirt.
Absolutely. So if this dirt racing were to take off, you think it might affect the other tracks as far as, man, these guys, because you'd want to run on a different night, but these guys are going to start having some more wheel control and all that. Think the racing locally going to pick up and get a little better?
Oh, I think so. I've seen a lot of people in the street stocks, the Wildcats and Unity and Speedway street stocks, they drive right sideways, so I imagine they'd probably be good in the dirt.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back for another edition of Hammer Down, and we're here with Kevin Hartley. We'll be right back, folks.
Thank you for watching the Renegade Network. Please click on the like and subscribe button and join the Renegade Racing Experience. Thank you.